is shifting to specific countries, and therefore even PLHIV then going into the HIV integration framework. And what about then, how do we then still able to do the advocacy, but still then be able to work with government in those countries? And I don't know if then what is the role of the regional networks, and whether should the regional networks be the ones that actually think about how then do you organize the region? That's my last question.
Tu vas m'aider. Merci beaucoup. Dans le contexte actuel, pour parler du rôle des réseaux par rapport à la situation, par rapport aux questions de redevabilité, nous devons dire que
regarding the actual situation, the current situation that we are asking about, the role of the regional networks. Yes.
Et pour parler de redevabilité, nous pensons que les réseaux doivent commencer à se former. Les réseaux régionaux doivent commencer à se former et former les réseaux nationaux sur la question de plaidoyer budgétaire, sur la question de redevabilité, parce qu'il faudrait d'abord que nous puissions nous approprier les questions de redevabilité et de plaidoyer budgétaire avant d'aider les réseaux nationaux.
So we as regional network, we should benefit from specific training on redevability and also for budget advocacy before that we can do this advocacy to other networks, to national networks.
Si nous ne connaissons pas, par exemple, le cycle budgétaire, nous ne pouvons pas faire de plaidoyer budgétaire.
If we don't know the budget cycle, we can't do budget advocacy.
Si nous ne savons pas à quel moment il faut interagir avec soit le gouvernement, avec la primature, avec le Parlement, on ne peut pas le faire, on ne peut pas faire. Et dans les pays, il y a souvent des commissions parlementaires qui s'occupent du volet du budget de la santé.
Okay, and we have also to know how to deal with government issues, especially when it comes to specific institutions like the parliamentary commissions.
Donc, pour parler de financement de la santé, il y a beaucoup de choses à faire. Et nous, par exemple, on commence à nous intéresser à ces questions-là de financement de la santé. Mais je dois dire que les questions de plaidoyer, de plaidoyer budgétaire, les questions de redevabilité, nous venons de sortir d'une réunion et lors de cette réunion-là, nous avons analysé le rapport de la Cour des comptes. Parce que dans les pays, il y a la Cour des comptes qui fait souvent des rapports sur la gestion des ministères. Et en ce moment, nous n'utilisons pas tout cela.
Speaking about the health budget at national level, so there is, for example, at national level, rapport de comptes, c'est ça?
La Cour des comptes.
La Cour des comptes, so the Court of Accounts. So at national level, but we don't know, it's different from each country, and we don't know how to deal with that.
Voilà, donc faut utiliser ça, faut nous approcher du gouvernement pour savoir ce qui se fait, faut nous former sur le plaidoyer budgétaire, faut former pour parler parce qu'il y a certaines dispositions. Par exemple, je vais vous parler rapidement de la Côte d'Ivoire. Il y a une disposition qui dit que le secteur privé, qui aide le secteur privé, qui dit que si le secteur privé, les entreprises financent par exemple la santé, le gouvernement leur fait une diminution d'impôts par exemple. Et les entreprises veulent utiliser, mais le gouvernement ne veut pas activer cette disposition de la loi.
So there are existing some disposition or some strategic that we can use. For example, in Ivory Coast, all private sector donors, they benefit then from some specific reduction of taxes. So, but we need like some trainings to know how to deal and to highlight this point.
Pourtant, les entreprises privées, je vais finir, veulent financer veuille contribuer pour augmenter la contribution domestique du financement de l'apport à la santé, du financement de la santé. Merci beaucoup.
And at the same time, the private sector wants to increase the engagement, financial engagement from this, for this issue.
Okay, thank you. And any of the speakers want to comment on that?
Thank you.
Thank you. Ezra.
Just quickly come back on the accountability question. It's a question that we have been asking ourselves as a community for many years now. I've been in the HIV response for more than 20 years now, and this is a question that we keep repeating in all the reunions and all the convenings. How do we hold our governments accountable? And one thing in my region, in particular in Latin America, is the region, I think is not mistaken, the most autonomous region regarding HIV treatment. Almost all of the countries in Latin America, the treatment is covered by the government. And in particular, in my country, we have been working with the government for a long time. That doesn't mean it has been good. It has not been good, but we have been working with the government. One thing that we did was back in 2017, that we did the 5-year plan. The 5-year plan was a national plan with all the networks across the country using data. We actually use stigma index data, by the way, to do the 5-year plan of what do we need to see and what do we need to do in 5 years to change the response and to change the HIV scenario in the country. And the 5-year plan was actually working with the government, and that is how we held the government accountable. The 5-year plan is a commitment from the government to support communities and support networks in the country. And that is something that we do as a tool, and that is also the importance of having evidence-based reports, evidence-based advocacy, just to show and do the monitoring over time to hold accountable governments by showing the data of what is working and what have not been working. I know that one of the other questions is what of the risk in this scenario. I said that Latin America is very autonomous regarding treatment. My country covers treatment by the government, but one thing that does not cover is prevention. And working with KPs, working with key populations. Another thing that is not working is the humanitarian crisis response. So that will mean it will increase diagnosis, it will increase gender-based violence, it will increase poverty, it will increase inequalities. Right now, even at 3 months in this crisis, the impact survey that we did have shown that women have been given birth at home because they shut down clinics. Just 3 months in this crisis. We cannot assess how big of an impact this will be in 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, or 1 year from now. So when we said a crisis right now, I am underlining and highlighting and putting in caps. So right now is the moment for communities to come together.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to comment? Okay. I'll open up for any questions, and thank you. And okay, Tariq, yes.
Thank you, Sibo. Just because since you are speaking about the role of regional networks, I think there are like some points that it's first, for example, as we see it at MENA community, is to unify the voices of people living HIV. And when we say unify voices, it also in international and high-level meetings. Let's give the example. There is an important strategic discussion. We can't bring the 15 countries representation from the region, so that's a point. But it's the choose of the person and also the choose of the place that we want, and how the proof that we have today. I guess that MENA community, MENA region, was maybe not on the top list of the priorities of GNP+, or maybe there was like some geopolitical things. We don't care about the past. Or with PEPFAR, it was excluded for years, but at least we know, I believe that sometimes even you don't realize things, at least when you make noise, people say that you exist. The second thing also is to try to make equality, and when it comes to people living in HIV services, and we are living in a very contradiction country. We have the most of the richest countries in the world and one of the most poorest countries. We are one of the most stable kingdoms and emirates in the world and the most unstable countries. So our role sometimes is really to unify in terms of an equality for access to treatments. The last thing, the role that we are really playing, especially when it comes to crisis and the real crisis, which are wars and displaced persons. We do it informally. We take the risk via our focal point, because when it comes that there is a black market of ARVs in Libya or in South Sudan, or people displaced from Syria to Turkey, so there is no governmental access. The only thing that they know is the community. So we try to connect, sometimes sacrifice from our IRVs, but to give the priority to the ones who are in needs.
Thank you. And really thank you to the speakers, because it really sounds like the next 2 days it's going to have really quite complex conversations, because I think as we speak even now, it just sounds so complex and so many challenges, and again, even from the regional networks, we really just need to really think about how do we define the future, really, and I think it's quite complex, and I hope the next 2 days we'll be able